Right up between those rocks. It's the coldest morning of the fall so far, and we're out here on Lake Weiss trying to fish in this weather. And believe it or not, John McIntosh says it's going to be a good day. He was out here yesterday and caught 20 or 25 bass, is that right?
That's exactly right.
And fishing for spotted bass. The pattern is shad raps, rattle traps, and we may even try a buzz bait a little later. Fishing the lower end of Weiss, rocks, and looks like we got a beautiful day to be out here. It's a little cold, but we're going to see what we can do. In November, what type of area do you want to be fishing? Rocks? Is there any particular depth? What's the structure that you want to look for?
Well, usually what I do is I start out early in the morning fishing these rocks. I'll fish these rocks, I'll fish some points that have some rock on it with that number 5 shad rap. Then once the sun gets up to about, I'll say about 11 o'clock in the morning, starts heating up the back of these pockets, I'll run to the back of the pockets where I'm literally getting stuck on the bottom and kicking up mud and having to lift my trolling motor to get back to them. And I'll start throwing that little rattle trap. And then that's where the big largemouth come through.
Yeah. What's going on in November that makes a shad rap or a rattle trap a good bait? I mean, are they...
Shad, that's what's going on. They
what
wad
are the shad
up.
doing? Yeah.
They wad up in big wads and they come to the surface and they, oh, that's good.
Look at here.
Got the fish right off there. So you got to get real tight to get those fish.
Woo! He was right up between those rocks. Another little spot too.
Yep. Not big, but
Not
fun.
big, but fun, I tell you
Right.
what.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. You know, even if you were to go to another lake today, you wouldn't even be catching those because of the big front that just came through.
Right.
But you'll catch, that's the amazing thing about this lake, you'll just catch oodles and oodles of those size fish,
Well,
and then all at once, bang, it'll be a 4 or 5 pounder.
Huh. It just amazes me how active and aggressive they are this morning. Sure enough, you know, with this frost, I thought it's going to be a tough day, but you know, you don't hear much about the spotted bass fishing on Weiss, or at least, I mean, you know it's good, but you know, people just more often talk about largemouths, it seems like.
Yeah, you know, that is true, but anymore, in most of the tournaments, other than, you know, real early in the spring when the big females are up on the bed, yeah, you gotta have to have some spotted bass to get the job done here.
Yeah.
But see, that's down here, especially if you're guiding. Not so much tournament fishing, but especially if you're guiding, or if you just want to catch fish, this is the area that you got to come to, because they're always here.
There's fish.
There's fish.
That's a good pulling fish. About the same size as that first one.
That's another spot.
Yep. How big's that fish?
Well, that one's a little bit smaller than the
incher?
other one. That's about a 12-inch fish. The
Yeah.
other one's about, like I say, 13 or 14. Yeah, if you're just wanting to catch fish, that number 5 shad rap in this area here, you're going to catch a lot of fish. And, you know, a kid 10 years old, he just wants to catch fish. You know, and this is a place you can take somebody who doesn't know a lot about fishing, can chuck out a crankbait and reel it in, and he'll catch a lot of fish.
Huh. Well, this little one hit good. That's fun fishing, I tell you what. That's number 2. We've been fishing about 30 minutes so far, you think?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I like about a spot, is they will fool you. You think you've got a sure enough good fish.
Yeah.
So a little fish like that you can catch good numbers of is fun to catch.
I seen on, it was one of your shows, I forget which one, but somebody was talking about spotted bass there, and it said if it had, or maybe it was in one of your magazines, but it said for a spot to stay someplace it had to have some cover. That they'll feed on a sandy area, but to actually stay there it had to have some cover. And you know, after I heard that or read it in the magazine, I started thinking back on that. That is so true.
What's this island? Do you know what is this called? Anything?
Well, the locals call it, or at least everybody I've heard calls it Goat Island. The reason they called it Goat Island was because every summer for several years there was a herd of goats out there. I don't know what happened to them, or if the owner came and got them, or what the deal is on that.
Are we out near the main river channel here?
Yeah, the main river's right behind us out there. That in between them buoys.
Okay.
A lot of people from around Atlanta are afraid to come over here because it's a really shallow lake, but they have done a great job lately of marking the lake. They put up buoys that run up into the little river and up into the Chattooga. So it's a lot easier to run now than it was before. But I think the main thing is they're so used to those deep, clear lakes where, you know, they think they've got to sit out in 40 foot of water to catch spotted bass.
Right.
And it's just not true. I mean, here on this lake, you'll catch them real shallow.
While spots are the most common fish caught using this pattern, John said it isn't unusual to catch nice largemouths or even big stripers. This crankbait pattern will hold up all winter long, just look for shad and shallow water.
Whipped about 15 bass this afternoon and a couple of good stripers. It has been a heck of a fun day. What surprises me about this, John, is that for this time of year, this is a real easy pattern. Oh, there's
Got
a fish.
another one.
Yeah.
How about that?
See there?
Yeah.
You don't have to know a lot. Find some rocks, find some of these spawning areas. That's a decent fish.
Yeah, boy, he's going like gangbusters, isn't he? Oh, look at, oh, no.
That was a good spot. That's the best spot I had all day.
Yeah, that was a decent fish.
Well, as I was saying, it's been a heck of a day. I've really enjoyed it.
I have
Thanks
too.
for bringing us,
Come back anytime.
showing us the patterns. Just rattle traps, shad wraps, find some shad, some rocks, maybe a shallow cove in the afternoon, and you're set.
You got it.